Alright, what's good everyone? Johan here to bring you part 2 for our unit reviews, and as you can see here I have a special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Name's Sigtrick. I do a bunch of gotchas. Most importantly, I do Fae. Um, and I appreciate you having me.
Alright, yeah, glad to have you. So, sorry this video is a little later than I want. I try to match up times with him, and being on the other side of the planet kind of makes that a bit tricky. But we're here, and so we're gonna go through your requests. We're gonna I'm gonna mention what notes you provided me, and then we'll go over talk about your units. So without further ado, oh, my Nox is paused. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we'll get started with Barbara here with Quan. Okay, the frame rate is really low, but it's fine. Jeez.
We'll
okay.
get there.
Okay, so Barbara with your Quan. So you said that this build is for all content, including arena, AR offense and defense and stuff. He is summoner supported with an Ares, or he is summoner supported and supported with an Ares. You're looking for medium investments. You want to plus 10 him. Let's see, and his other teammates are Ares, obviously, Lachesis, and Athena. Alright, and you're rocking the Gaebulk, Double Rally, Astra, DC Vantage type of build, even attack wave, and deflect magic. Interesting. Okay, so since you're summoner supported, we add 5 to HP and 2 at all stats. Let's see. So first of all, props to building Quan. He's one of my favorite genealogy characters. Okay. So I guess my initial comments would be that Quan's issue nowadays is like his stat line doesn't really hold up much. He has middling speed, like it's not dumped too much, and he has really low res if you want to try to run the DC build. But he did have like really solid attack for his time, but it's kind of not like good enough nowadays in my opinion. So yeah, we'll see what we can do. What do you have to say real quick for initial impressions?
Well, I mean, right off the bat, I mean, seeing the deflect magic, it looks like they're trying to check Reinhardt, so it kind of gives me an idea where they are in Arena.
Yeah, right.
Those were horrible days back in the day, man.
They were.
Yeah, deflect magic was kind of like the beginning of the end because they started getting those things to counter him. But yeah, like you mentioned, he doesn't really have much of a res stats. Like outside of maybe surviving Reinhardt with deflect magic, like other mages are just kind of going to eat him alive.
Yeah.
And it looks like Gaebulk had it pulled up. It looks like it's really just for close quarters, infantry, I guess armored. Okay, so it's movement types as well.
Yeah.
No, it's just movement types. Okay, so anything but flying. Okay, so that'll work a little bit. But again, it only boosts attack and defense, doesn't do anything for his res.
Yeah, so that's a little...
So outside of archers, you're not going to get much out of that.
Right. Also, since his attack doesn't really hold up nowadays, I recommended dumping Quick Riposte on there somewhere. I really don't recommend the Vantage build on him anymore, personally. And since he will get doubled a lot, like you might even want to run something like Guard to prevent specials from proccing on him. As for the Gaebulk, real quick, spring's over, but if you ever got your hands on Spring Narshan, it's actually kind of sad, but the Guild Fork is just objectively better than the Gaebulk because it gives the same boosts, but with a super easier requirement, just being within 2 spaces, I believe, of an ally, and it doesn't have that flyer. It works against flyers, so it's like, oh man.
Yeah, I mean, I know they said they're using it for all modes, but I mean, you do take into account, you see stuff like Vantage, and it's a low-scoring SP move. So I mean, for Arena, you might want to, like you mentioned QR, that would be good. And I know there's like a middle ground depending on your stats. He has a PRF, so if you can get, I know you mentioned budget, somewhat budget, medium ground.
Yeah, medium
so
investment.
maybe we're not looking at 300 SP, C skills or anything like that.
Yeah. How if you did end up switching his weapon though, he would need a 300 SP C slot on top of the 240. But that's if you decide to change. Gaebulk is I mean, it's flavorful. I mean, you don't really want to change it probably because it's Quan. But anyway, that's just character love there. So, I also have here. So, if you wanted to, or sorry, if my personal opinion is that you would want to make Quan a physical bruiser, enemy phase bruiser, which unfortunately means you would get rid of DC. But running something like a stance skill, like Sturdy Stance. Do we have Sturdy Stance 3? Yeah, we do. Sturdy Stance 3, because that comes with the guard effect. It's premium though, it's kind of hard to get right now, so you could run Sturdy Stance 2 as budget, and if you get your hands...
I think it's 4. It goes up to 4, right?
Since it's a dual stance, the dual stances only go up to 2.
Oh, dual stance. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. And I think his best B slot would be LOL attack defense, personally, if you're not running QR as the B slot. If you can run QR as the seal and put LOL attack defense, that increases his like just one-shotting capabilities, or one-rounding capabilities, and increases his tanking as well. And real quick for the C slots, so I don't know about you, but I personally do not like wave skills. Too inconsistent for my taste. I guess, yeah. Too inconsistent for my taste, but if you wanted to make him like an enemy phase bruiser, I would recommend something like Attack Smoke, or a tactic skill for the rest of your team, because I think you meet that requirement. Yeah. Anything else you got?
Again, it depends on the mode, and they said they're going to use it for everything. But back to the C skill, I think even Attack Wave is okay in Arena if you have time. You have more time to move around. It's a little trickier in AR because you have 7 turns with Milla, unless you have Milla. I'm trying to think of some cheaper options because I mean lulls are a bit hard to get a hold of. But I mean, it's sad at this point we still don't have a unit with a level 4 QR3. Like it's still like you have to throw some feathers at it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
I mean, it's definitely doable. I don't think that's considered a premium skill because I mean you can easily get it. It just takes a little bit of investment. So QR is good. And I do like Stance. I run Stance on Alphonse whenever I have to run him for bonus for the week. I'm a free-to-play player, so I do run Alphonse, and the Steady Stance 4 is wonderful on him. Just having the guard effect and just letting him, tank anything physical that works out well. So if you have a Stance skill with the guard effect built in, I definitely agree with that.
All right, cool. Just a couple last quick notes. If you wanted to keep DC, you might want to consider, the Recruits Lance, the Barrier Lance, or maybe Casablanca. I'm not sure about that one though. And it's kind of like the Conrad build, but of course Quan is like, again, super low res, so I don't recommend it. And
yeah.
But if you wanted to focus on his strengths, this is also premium, but Distant Foil would not be too bad on him, because he's pretty high on defense, decently, and so he could handle archers and daggers decently well.
So I mean, we're talking about Arena. That brings up a point. So I mean, he does have the physical bulk. Is there a way to make him deal with Alm?
That's I think we'll tear through him regardless, personally. Just because
he's gonna get doubled. Alm comes packed with no follow-up.
Yep.
So I mean, he's gonna get through whatever shenanigans you try to counter him with.
Yeah, there aren't many characters who can.
And he gets more damage the higher your defense is too, which I think is just crazy. Yeah, for just his generic attack. Not even like when he procs.
Yeah. So I don't think even a guard will help you there, because I don't think there are many characters who can survive all on enemy phase. But I mean, there's some if you build for it.
I'll throw some Corins out there. I have to nerf his speed. So this is off topic. I like to use the speed feint with the rallies, and it really does come in a pinch for enemy phase.
Yeah. All right. If you have the speed to prevent him from doubling, that'll be really good.
That's not gonna be this unit.
yeah, not this kind of. And last thing I have here is. Okay, yeah, I don't recommend dumping. I have a tendency to recommend speed builds, but since he's kind of medium investment and Quan's speed is pretty low, I don't recommend it. But if you ever get to the point where you can prevent doubles between using home cabs or whatever, goat cab, I don't know. or tactics rather, since you only have Ares, I think. Yeah, Ares. You could use Home Kebs, I guess, but don't worry about the speed, basically. Okay. That's all we got for now. We good? For Quan?
I think we're good.
All right. So next we got MoltenCheeze Astram. Astram, however you
What a
want to say
name.
it. Yeah, this is actually a returner. He or she, they requested one before too. I think it was a spring.
+9.
Yeah. Okay. So initial notes. This is a general build, summoner supported, intended to +10, +5. He's already +5 for the flowers. He's looking for optimal. He has a Fallen Ike and a Joint Hone Speed Fodder available. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah, so this is what I can see here is a enemy phase build with a distant counter null C disrupt. Which again, it depends on the mode you're playing, but null C disrupt is great for AR, but arena not so much. So you might want to switch that around depending on the mode. Any initial comments for you?
That's a good point. In arena, you're typically not going to see. Do we even have colorless? What are those called? Dual colorless cavalry? We don't have any cavalry.
No, we don't have any cavalry
ones for those.
No.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, you're not gonna probably see any of those. If you, I mean, it looks like you're scoring pretty high with +9, and you have all these premium skills on there. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about null C disrupt in that case. There's not going to be anything like wind sweep, and commonly, anyways.
Yeah. Well, let me check here if he has any other beast codes. You have the Wrath, which he comes with. Yeah, that's basically it. No C, Wrath, and QR. I think I saw. Yeah. I think
I'm a big fan of Wrath in arena.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let's see. Okay, so about the Fallen Ike you were considering. So Repel is good. He has a speed for it for sure. However, it's not quite high enough for like the super fast things you see. If you want to use Repel, that is. Like you have 42 and 44 with Summoner support. And if you get Mercurius buffs, that's 48, I believe. Yeah, so if you don't change anything else, Repel, you're at 48 speed, which is decent, but you're still gonna get doubled probably by your alms, unless you have like chill or whatever, things like that. Your legendary alms and Larsays and whatever. He might have a hard time against the fast sword infantry, as Repel wise, but I mean, it's still a solid amount for Repel in general, I think. Again, if you foddered Fallen Knight, you would also get Darting Breath as well, which would help. But then that would mean you would need to get a 300 SPC slot for scoring. Any comments?
I mean, if you have the other null, if you have null follow-up, that's always great to have. Surtur's still very common.
Oh yeah.
So obviously you want to be able to one-turn Surtur, otherwise he gets his start of enemy phase debuffs and damage. And I'm pretty certain with Heavy Blade you can let's see, 5, 2, it still wouldn't proc, but I have to do the calc, because I don't know if he could one-round Surtur or not. Surtur's pretty defensive, and he comes with sturdy stage stance 4, so probably not actually.
So,
but I still like the no follow-up. I think it's very common. There's tons of armor units.
Yeah, you cannot go wrong with no follow-up. It especially helps in, well, it kind of depends on fire season, but it definitely, or what season you're doing, but fire season it helps particularly well because you got Edelgard and Hector to deal with as well. So you don't have him blessed right now, but depending on whatever blessing you decide to give him, you could adjust your build accordingly. I personally switched to no follow-up on my maxed out Mia only on fire season because of those threats, and it pays off for sure. So it's definitely something to consider. Let's see.
Did he say what modes he's using Astram?
He said general, so probably most
general.
modes.
Okay, so everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let's see. You said you had Joint Hone Speed available, which I don't recommend because Mercurius already gives you 4. So it's it's not worth it in my opinion. But if you get joint drive speed though, that's the sauce. I'm a huge fan of joint drive speed, so if you get your hands on that, I think it works amazing on this guy. But
yeah, the smoke's obviously for AR. I mean, that's like the premium tank skill. But
yeah,
the res is not quite there, even with the buffs, to really be being your savior of a tank. Particularly being red is rough for a tank.
Yeah, for sure.
But usually a blue.
And
Ophelia is typically a very common.
Yeah, Ophelia's, and even in arena, like Legendary Julia, she just destroys your Mercurius buffs.
Gosh.
So yeah, Julia's definitely one-shotting you. But DC is okay. We can actually talk about some of the A slot stuff you could do. Like bonus doubler is really popular on him, but again, if you ever,
that'd be really nice.
You just have to be really careful with panic, and of course, if you run into the lull skills, which are quite common nowadays, they just completely nullify everything about those bonus doubler aspects. So you just weigh the pros and cons, I guess, at that point. And I think I had another thing. Oh, I actually said if you decide to run Repel, you could consider running Pedal Parasol for your your weapon, which I know sounds like a meme, but it gives you raw plus.
I don't even remember what that does.
So it's if your enemy has a debuff, then he gets +5 attack and speed as combat buffs.
Okay.
So
you get one more speed, essentially?
Well, Mercurius is visible buffs, so you get 5 combat buffs, and then you could use visible buffs on top of that. So it puts him like what 44 after summoner support, 49, and then you can get visible buffs like 55-ish if you have tactics or whatever. So that's a really good amount. But
it is, and I think you could run chill speed if you wanted to. Again, we're talking about Alm, but
oh yeah,
I mean, he's got decent bulk and chill speed. I think he could actually avoid the double.
Yeah, for sure. If you want to be even more premium, you got your lulls, speed, whatever, speed attack or speed defense. That works too. And you could run chill speed on like a support unit you have maybe.
Yep.
But yeah, other than that, looks solid, dude. Let's see, did I have anything else? Yeah, that's about all I had. Any last comments?
I think you got it.
All right, cool. Let's move on to, oh boy, Restless with your Spring Camilla. All right.
I'm a fan. I like to run Fire Emblem for anything like Grand Conquest-esque. And I have friends on my friends list. I don't ever refresh it because there's like a Camilla in there that I just have her lead. She can tank all the bow units or whatever.
Oh
so,
yeah.
Big fan. Oh, close foil.
All right. This one's pretty interesting. So we got Spring Camilla general build, no summoner support. You're looking for optimal, and she's already maxed out. Her teammates are, of course, OG Camilla, New Year's Camilla, and Summer Camilla. All right.
Uh-oh.
And you do have Hone Flyers and Camilla's Axe buffs going on. So, yeah, I actually calculated it on my notes here, I think. Yeah. So after considering all your buffs with your weapon and bond and everything, you have about 53 speed, if I got it right, which is really, really good. So, yeah, that's something to keep in mind as we go through this. This 36 is very deceptive. So you have an enemy phase build here, mostly physical, of course, with close foil. And you got the ground blooms, so that Spectrum +3 bond skill.
Remind me what that does.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, bonds, it gives a +3 all stats with percent ally.
Perfect. Goes right with the bond.
Yep.
Okay.
Any initial comments for you?
Gosh, I actually really like this.
Yeah, yeah.
I think this is cool. She's tanky. I mean, I've always seen the Grand Raven, but this is a nice new take.
Yeah, definitely.
I like it. I don't know if I would change it. This is cool.
Yeah. I only had a few notes. So Grand Blooms gives +3 to all stats if you're beside one ally. I don't know if you already have it, but Grand L actually might be a bit better, but it's a little... Geez, this is taking forever to load. You have Ground Blade. You have the Raven as well. You got the Green Egg. Yeah, so it takes a bit more setup, but with the Ground Owl, since you're running a Fireball, I imagine it's not as difficult as you'd think. As long as even if you have 2 characters beside her, she gets more stats than Ground Blooms, and potentially up to 6 all stats. So it's basically up to, do you want to deal with the positioning requirements or not? So I personally think in a Fireball that it should be pretty easy to move around, so I think Owl might be better. But, I mean, they're both fine, honestly, in the end.
It depends on the mode. I mean, like I mentioned, Grand Conquest. If you're like me and you're just waiting for Flyer Day, which with Camilla's you might be doing that.
Oh yeah, that's free. Yes.
And sure, it's really easy because you can get that free Flyer guidance effect added, and that makes it real easy to fulfill that condition.
Yeah.
It might be a little harder to fulfill on something like Aether Raids, just because you want to make sure everybody is spaced away, like get an extra space in case a dancer pushes somebody right into the right spot. So you kind of want to wall out. So I think for that, Blossoms is probably better. So it just depends on the mode.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. So about your speed. So 53 is, for a green unit, I think that's plenty enough. But if you even had more from like Goat Fire support, like around hitting 57, you could actually get fast enough to drop the QR and actually put something like Mystic Boost, which would help her tanking a lot, because you just get an extra 6 HP per combat. And with 57 speed, you should be doubling most green and blue units, as long as they don't have like an impact or whatever. And I'm sure, I don't think you need to worry too much about swords, the fast swords, because you wouldn't put her up against them mostly. Aether's fine. You could run Noontime Soul if you don't care for score and you just want more consistent flow of heals, especially if you run Mystic Boost. Attack Smoke's fine, even though you could also run Flyer's Guidance to get her teammates near her quickly or easy. And that's about all I had. This goes awesome, dude. Any last words?
That's cool. And no, I think you nailed it. I think the only thing you could change with enough speed would be the QR, because it might just become redundant at that point.
Right.
But yeah, otherwise, really cool build.
Nice. So thank you for that submission. All right, so let's move on to the next. TheKingPin, also a second submission. All right, TheKingPin's Athena. Okay. Okay, you are still thinking about her build, I see, except you definitely insta-sacked a Thrasier, I can see. Alright. So, general offensive build, you said. No summoner supports. Medium investment. I think you asked if there's a way to make us some sort of mixed build work, then that'd be cool to hear. Especially, and you, since I'm a Mia enthusiast, and they're basically the same unit in a sense, aside from their weapon. You wanted some general ideas. You're planning on max merging her, and yeah, that's all we got. Okay. So, speaking from a player face standpoint, you're at, let's see, 44 speed. Let's see, if you're in Brazen Rage, that's 51. And when you finish plus 10 in Flower, or like run at least one speed Flower, that's what, hold on, 44, you're getting one more speed I think from the merge, 45, 46 with the Flower. Yep. Okay, and then maybe around 50 to 52 with the buff, and then Brazen puts you at 59 if that's active, which is pretty solid. Any initial comments for you?
I think the speed's definitely good. I think my OG Corrin's roughly around that same speed, so definitely a fan of having the Flashing Blade forward to get the cooldowns, and you got the extra speed there, which Brazen will combo with the built-in desperation of the weapon. So yeah, good start.
All right, cool. So we have our assist open and B slot open here. So there's a ton of B slots you could consider. A lot of the typical stuff you might want on a fast sortie. So since you have the Wodao sword, I love, personally on my Mia as well, I love running the Wrath for the double +10 true damage and running it with the low cooldown special. Moonbow works. Sometimes I prefer Noontime over Moonbow actually, because even though it's counteracts the Wrath and for your case the Desperation effects, like it just keeps you going and keeps your damage output really high with short cooldown. And Athena's quite a bit weaker than Mia attack-wise, so I think having quick 20 damage nukes helps out a lot. Wrath, and then you have your typical lull skills. I think lull speed defense would be best for her, and it also helps with their flashing blade checks. And of course you have the no follow-up, which kind of makes her act like a Marita, fallen Marita that is. So yeah, anything else you might want to add?
Well, I mean, if this is for Arena, obviously, if you have a buy list sitting around, you can give her the other 2-turn special for a higher score. The name's escaping me right now.
Ruptured Sky.
Okay, thank you. And did you mention an option of a lull skill on that B slot?
Yeah, lull speed defense was my recommendation.
Okay. Yeah, no, that would be perfect. I'm just flipping through the passage here, but I think that's going to be optimal for sure. Yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah. Panic Smoke works fine. Of course, this is really flexible in the end. So about the Brazen, actually. So I've been being less and less of a fan of Brazens over time, and I don't generally like running them unless it synergizes really well with everything else. But you do have the Concealed Blade Desperation effect here, and if you run Wrath, it works with that too. So it's fine, in my opinion. I am a fan of consistency more than overall, though, so you could consider Swift Sparrow as an alternative. But yeah, Brazen's perfectly fine. On my Mia, I actually run Attack Speed Bond, but she runs like a DC Wrath type of build, so the Bond kind of works for her. So I wouldn't run it with a Desperation type build at all. So yeah, this is fine. Anything else?
No, I mean this definitely looks like an arena unit to me, and you're not trying to boost your res or anything. You're going for all attack and well, I guess on that note, if this is an arena build, you could also consider no follow-up.
Yeah.
Just all common QR
Right.
arena. But several good V options for sure.
Yep. So I think that's about it. Obviously, here you just either reposition or a scoring skill, basically, as usual. Yeah, I think that's about it. I already mentioned. Yeah, if you wanted to run something like a mixed phase type of build, basically the way I run my Mia is what I recommend with Noontime, and I wouldn't run DC on her because her res is a bit more suspect without all the max flowers and summoner support like I give Mia. So
yeah,
Flashing Blade 4 I think is better to help her low attack. But yeah. Alright, I think that's about it. Thank you for your submission. Okay, next we have Flair's Fallen Ike. Oh boy. Good old one of the four swordsmen of the apocalypse.
Oh man, he went in. It's already
yeah, it's yeah. So max out Fallen Ike for AR offense, Astra season. You also have him on AR defense, and he is summoner supported. His Astra team is Altina Naga, and for a support you run Valentine Silk, which is pretty interesting because she provides remote buffs from anywhere on the map, so you don't have to worry about positioning. I think you said she gives him basically. I think you mentioned +6 all stats. Sorry, I didn't actually write that down, but yeah, sometimes you do run Fallen Lion as a backup, which is perfectly fair and understandable. All right, so yeah, I haven't seen much of this guy, so I can't give like things from like a practical point of view, I guess, personal experience point of view. But yeah, if for AR offense, this is kind of like this is fine, in my opinion.
The QR might be overkill, but at the same time, and I keep mentioning but he's common on both AR and Arena. That actually might, well, because he's gonna have no follow-ups. So shoot, maybe the QR could be swapped out then.
It could. Impact skills do show up fairly often, though, so I think it's worth having just to ignore all those impacts. Obviously, if Alm has the no follow up, but you do also have like your IP'd up Julia's and
you have Tabarn.
Yeah, Tabarn.
That's one of my biggest nightmares during light season.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah.
I think like his overall all the stats he's gonna get, especially from being debuffed and all that, it makes it fine to run QR. But you could switch for like a stance or whatever as well, or attack smoke. So you don't have the Null Sea Disrupt, but I don't think it's actually necessary at all to run it, because most Null Sea Disrupt or most staff units you will fight are either Brave Veronica or Panic staff users, which you want to get hit by as well on Ike. So let them come.
That's a good point. That weapon's crazy.
Yeah, this weapon's insane. You're definitely getting hit by the Bright Shrine, or that's the attack one, right?
The what now?
The shrine that debuffs your attack and speed. So he's probably getting hit by that.
Oh, right, okay.
He's probably getting hit by that, which is basically
for sure.
plus 7 or whatever it is. In both attack and speed.
Well, but it doesn't neutralize, right? So it just breaks even, or
it flips it. It
grants plus 14. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you're right. Okay, so it does get plus. Wow.
Yeah, he just becomes a beast. So yeah, you're getting your Aethers off every second. You have the Pulse Smoke. So the only thing you want to be careful about with this Pulse Smoke actually is because he's a melee unit, it might be a little tricky to go in and get it off on the player phase if you needed to get off on the player phase. But
you have to run Smite or something.
Yeah, I'm sure you have Smite at this point. Most people run Smite on Naga or Athena.
It confuses me to run it. Like I know how good it is, but like I'll get into a situation like, all right, time to reposition, and I'll push me in. I'm like, I lost this map.
Yeah, I definitely did that for first few times in AR for sure. But yeah, so you have that Valentine's Silk as well as support, which she doesn't have a movement skill, but I think it's really good to have her, especially on Astra, because your mythics are both melee and Ike is melee, and you can't rely on the bonus for being always ranged. So having a mounted range unit to help clear out buildings and stuff like that is really good in my opinion. So I think that's a good choice on your part.
Yeah, the only thing that really just outright beats this unit is going to be an IP team that's going to have the AoE skills. But outside of that, this is just going to be a total boss.
Yeah. So, sick dude. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah,
I think that's it.
The base kit plus, Pulse Smoke or whatever. That's all you really need. Nice. Okay, next we have Xeno. Yep, Xeno's Ross. All right. So, in my first...
I see Santa's bag there.
Yeah. In my first video, or first or second video, I talked about arena builds for Ross where you go speed, like heavily invest into speed. So I'm not going to do that again because it'll just be redundant. So if you want to check that out, go check my previous video. All right, so for this Ross, you asked for general build, but around for general plus tier 21 arena. And he is not summoner supported. You're looking for optimal. Okay, and you're running the plus defense, bruiser, physical bruiser type of build. No follow up, attack wave. You have Smite, interesting, and the Ignis on Earth season. Okay. So for starters, if you want to score optimally for arena, this has to be your 400 SP assist skill, and this has to be a Aether or 500 SP special, And you actually have to run two. Since he doesn't have a PRF weapon, he has to have two 300 SP skills in A and C slot. So that'll be something to consider. Any initial comments for you?
I mean, right off the bat, I don't know if 37 speed's really enough to get a lot of no follow-up outside of like tank units. I mean, if he's running that to try to get 2 hits on Wary Fighter, then it's a little more applicable in Arena for sure. But again, kind of on the slow side.
Yeah. So I actually had on my first thing to... Oh, actually, sorry. You had another note. You are planning to switch to plus speed if you get one, and you're gonna max merge and blotter, obviously. So with plus speed, you'll be at 40.
Okay.
You'll be at 40, and with Sack of Gifts, you'll be 42 on enemy phase, which is a bit better, but still might not quite cut it. Earth Season, you don't have to be too fast unless you want to deal with Alm, because Earth Season, you're fighting Legendary Tiki, Legendary Julia, who aren't particularly the fastest. Tiki can get decently fast, but usually I don't see people investing in her speed that much because she just runs, fighter skill or whatever. Let's see.
I don't imagine trying to counter Legendary Julia with distant foil.
Yeah.
That won't hit back.
Right. That's definitely that's one of my points here actually. Hold on, let me find that note. Yeah, since you're using distant foil, I think you should be shooting for preventing doubles. So you want enough speed. You don't want too much speed. I mean, you don't need too much speed rather. But as long as you can prevent doubles from some key units, that'll be really good. And then you can just run quicker post. So you can make sure you get the kill on them, whether that be in B or C slots. The no follow-up is kind of iffy. Let's see. Did I have a note for B?
Yeah, I was about to say, let's see what would be some good options here.
Where is that note? I don't have my notes sorted too well. Yeah, go ahead.
We can't. I feel like we say it on every unit, but I mean, you can't underestimate the power of a lull skill if you've got some stocked up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
What else we got in here? I mean, we're probably gonna be running Aether, so anything with a, I don't think Wrath would be too helpful. I mean, it could.
Yeah,
as long as it's Arena, you can run away, right? You have all the turns in the world. Because Cavalry's not going to probably be seeing something you're going to be seeing too much of at a higher level.
As long as it's not water season.
Oh god, Leaf. Yeah, that's a good point.
Leaf, Azura, Crop, yeah.
That's true. Oh gosh, man, water season sucks.
Yeah, it's awful, dude. It's terrible.
As free to play, I gave up on trying to stay in tier 21.
I don't
It's just not worth it to me. I'm happy bouncing between like 19 and 20. I get my four orbs there. It's not worth me pulling out my hair for.
Yeah. So water season's a nightmare. So you dipped out at a good time.
I look at AR. AR is my thing. Arena, I don't spend any money on this game, so it's pretty rough. I don't have a plus 10 legendary hero. I've always waited for the Corin legendary hero as my little picture John's Johan's put under my video there, but that day hasn't come. It might not.
You have a chance next month. You have a chance next month, or this month rather.
There's always a chance. I went through that with the year one before Mythic's thing. I was always saved up, which worked out because we got Fallen and we got Acorn. So it worked out, but I've given up on saving. I'll just let myself get blindsided. I'll try to get the first banner, and then after that I'll go back into saving mode.
Yeah.
But, we're getting off.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so we're in Arena for the time being. I wanted to comment on the weapon choice. So Sack of Gifts is pretty solid for enemy phase, but you might want to consider something like Huge Fan from the new Bridal Hinata, Groom Hinata. I've seen some people actually running it with Ruptured Sky, so you always retaliate with a Ruptured Sky, which definitely would one-shot Tiki, so that's something to consider.
That that would help. I completely forgot what that weapon did, but you get the special cooldown shard.
Yes.
Or no, is it only against the opponent?
When your opponent attacks you, you get +2, basically.
Okay, so all right, so it's for you. It's not detrimenting the opponent.
No,
Okay,
no, no.
so you could run Wrath if you ran a huge fan.
Oh yeah, that is
That
true.
would be okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, huge fan, Rupture the Sky, and the Wrath. That would kill a lot of people.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You could also run Hammer for Arena in general. The armors have been slowly, like, leaving the picture. Not obviously, they're still like, I would say 40 to 50% of the units you see, but you're seeing a lot of duo units and legendary heroes now. So Hammer isn't quite as great as it used to be.
They're getting that little special treat, the BST 180 or whatever effect.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so you have the distant foil, which it gives you the +5 in attack and defense always. So that there's merit in that. So I don't necessarily think you have to change this, but again, if you wanted to retaliate against Legendary Julia, you would need distant counter, a regular distant counter, or a distant ward. So that's something to think about.
However, it's okay for Leaf probably. I'd have to see. Yeah, he could double back, and he has enough defense. I would think. I mean, Leaf obviously can get a like DB4 and a bunch of things stacked on him, so I'd have to check the map. But
he might be able to survive.
I'm a bit surprised.
He might.
But yeah, he's got the distant foil built in. You mentioned Hinata's weapon, and if he's running the sturdy stance, he should definitely survive. I would think. So yeah, I think distant foil is pretty good for both Earth and Water, because Alm and Leaf.
And even Crom, actually, being blue.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Very true. So I like it.
All right. And lastly, for the C slot, you have an even attack wave. I already mentioned my opinion on that. But if you wanted to make his tanking a bit more consistent, you could put attack smoke or whatever. Actually, sorry, you need a 300 SPCs.
He needs a 300, yeah.
While you're going for that 300 SP slot skill, you might want attack smoke. But other than that, you could run like a duo threaten skill or joint drive speed to help prevent more doubles, or joint drive attack also works as well. Yeah, there aren't many options.
I like the attack for him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can have it. I mean, it depends what your supports are, right? But yeah, having an option to get extra attack, and again, especially with Hinata's weapon, which if he has a bonus, he gets additional benefits.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's pretty flexible. So I think that's about it. Okay. Thank you for your submission. Hope you find your last 2 copies soon. Okay. Next we have AmnesiaBoi with the Morgan, male Morgan.
The scuba goggles.
Nice. All right, decked out. Another foil character. All right.
One flower away.
Yeah, really close. Okay, Water Blessed male Morgan, +10, +9. He has, all right, Glimmer, Drawback, Grievous Truth. So basically a close counter advantage build. Let's see. No summoner support, and you're looking for a general build. Okay. So, yeah, this build actually works pretty solidly because Grievous Truth helps quite a bit for your enemy phase. Since you're nerfed.
It's like Veronica's weapon, isn't it?
Similar.
Oh, there you go.
It's like Dark Breath, I want to say. It's basically Dark Breath.
After combat.
Except it buffs yourself as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's essentially what. Oh, I guess Veronica does all stats.
Yeah, that's basically the same thing. But yeah, that helps a lot because it makes a 10 speed difference between you and your opponent, basically. So you're hitting effectively 50 speed, more if you have buffs, and you're nerfing their attack as well. So your defenses are +5 each as well. So that's really solid. And then you have the Res Smoke for you to hit harder with your Vantage, and Close Foil buffs your attack as well, and Brazen for more attack and bulk. So this works pretty solidly, honestly. What do you have to say?
No, I like it. I mean, it looks like his plan is to initiate, get his triple smoke off, get himself into Brazen Vantage range, and just, all the debuffs that he put into play, capitalize on them. So definitely solid right off the bat. I guess the only other thing would be maybe consider if Glimmer's optimal, but that whole package seems to work really well.
Yeah.
He hasn't gotten a refine, has he?
Nah.
Okay. I think the girl variant did, but
Yeah. His weapon, it's not bad for even today's standards.
oh yeah, it's really. I mean, essentially, this is similar to what I run on my OG Corn because of her Dark Breath, and I run it with the Red Smoke as well. So I definitely like that.
Oh, nice.
For sure.
So I think he might get one soon though, because it's just about around that time. But we'll see. So you have let's see, if I calculated right, I have 73 effective attack, 80 in brazen range if everything's working as it should be, which is a really solid amount. You should be one-shotting quite often, unless it's blue, of course. And though with power creep going as it is at this rate, it might become progressively more and more difficult, especially things with sturdy or mirror impact and like just crazy repel and stuff like that. It might be harder to do the full damage, but in general content, as it's gonna be enough, I think, in my opinion.
What do you think about running a? I mean, I know it could potentially put him past Vantage, but he's so bulky. It would be worthwhile if he's using him as a tank to give him a bit of healing with like a noontime or a soul.
Yeah, that's definitely works.
He doesn't have the minus cooldown, so you couldn't do anything like Aether, but definitely a 2-turn or a 3-turn.
Yeah, for sure. If you have like a teammate who somehow makes his cooldown go down, that'd be really good. Yeah, I personally like Glimmer over it because he's gonna be hurt. He's gonna knock someone out, ideally, and then it'll be charged for like a fresh round of combat. It should be, I think. So.
Well. Yeah, I mean, did he say what the supports were?
No support.
I mean, he says general, I guess. So it doesn't. Yeah, it's general, so I can't even assume if it's AR or arena or anything.
Right.
Because I'm thinking an AR, you're going to be committing forward. You might not have a teammate nearby, but
that's true.
Yeah.
But still, I think it's solid. There isn't too much to change here. Rest smoke is fine. Let's see what I think I had something else. Okay, yeah. I was on the topic of power creep. If it gets progressively harder to one-shot, you might want to switch to trying to just focus on more on your survivability. So if that ever becomes necessary, you could switch to low attack speed. You might drop the advantage. If you have low attack speed, you're increasing your bulk and your offense, and preventing all their buffs and stuff in their offensive stats. So he'll take more hits in the face, so that's maybe a little iffy, but it's something to consider, I guess, if your fighting advantage isn't cutting it anymore.
Well, and yeah, I mean, if you're going to lull, then I definitely would go with a healing skill.
Oh yeah.
Just for the survivability.
Yeah, for sure.
But, yeah. Otherwise, I think the kit really synergizes well with itself. So
yeah.
This is looking good.
I think that's all I had. So. I had one last side note. If you ever wanted to go player phase, which, I mean, you've already invested so much in enemy phase, so it's whatever. But I would probably swap out the weapon for Roger Fox, or however you pronounce it, Hubert's Tome. It's just super good with the typical speedy kit, but that's a different type of build entirely. So yeah. Okay, I think that's about it. You good?
I think it looks good.
All right. And I think we have 3 more. So let's see. It's going to be kind of a long video, but I'll have timestamps at the bottom if you just want to see yours. Yours specifically, even though we only have 3 people left. Okay, so Valencia. So this person didn't. I don't know if this is just a regular person or whatever, but who didn't comment anything in my video. But this exists. It does what it does what it do.
There she is.
It serves its purpose. Hyper offensive savage blow. All right. I think it was just somebody random who just added me off to the side.
Fair enough. Well, they're getting a free review here.
All right. We'll just move on to Alto's Jamke. This is actually a super decked out Jamke. All right. So Oh boy. So
there's that bow again. I gotta look it up.
Oh, this is a Swift Sparrow bow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay, so you said that you have a bunch of builds for this guy. I checked your skill list and you have a ton of stuff on him.
Got some expensive stuff on there already. He's a big how do you pronounce it? Jamke? Is that how you pronounce that?
I say Jamke. What I don't know. But you said this
Also doesn't turn out like Camus's Camus.
Oh, right. Oh yeah. We don't talk about that. So, you said your current build is for general purpose, but you also have specific builds for everything, a bunch of other things like AR offense and stuff. And you are saying you're gonna include once Summer Takumi comes back, you're gonna give him that fishy bow, which is a desperation bow, which is a solid choice. He is summoner supported. He is paired with a bunch of support units here. We got Male Korin for spectrum buffs, and he also has he also gives him infantry flash, so he gets flash and blade effect. He has drive speed on him, and he has a triple distant. So you put DD for distant defense. I'm assuming you mean distant guard here for Renea, because Renea has the weapon for distant guard. I'm assuming triple distant guard, and a Savage Pain Nana. So yeah, this guy is gonna be a monster. With his supports nearby. Yeah, this is super cool.
So judging by the supports, it sounds like they are supposed to be nearby. So he's definitely looking at enemy phase here. And you said it was for AR offense? Is that what you said?
This particular build's not for AR offense, but he does have a build.
Okay, all right. Okay, got it. So what's this build for? Do we know?
He said general. Everything but AR
General?
offense,
Okay.
basically.
Okay, that makes more sense.
All right. So let's see. We got Blade Session. So I can't forgive you because you killed a Tsubasa, but because it's it's out of character love, so I'll give it a pass for now.
You might have killed a Yuhan top 5 waifu there.
Yeah, she's in my top 5, but so I actually kind of like Blade Session here because, given the nature of what his support units are, like you could position an M-Corn first to give the drive speed and infantry flash buffs, and then you could attack with Nana for Savage Pain effects, and then so you get the full bonuses from Blade Session, or if you put in Renea in range, you'd probably dance though, but still, I think it works decently well. You're hitting, plenty. You're hitting enough speed. You're hitting enough speed. Let's see. Okay, so you have defense smoke, which works since you have a dancer, but you could potentially swap this out for, panic smoke or whatever, or attack smoke to help him survive in the enemy phase more. If you want to go super ham, you got the new joint drive attack and defense, or joint drive attack or joint drive speed. That's my main recommendation, since especially you'll have your teammates next to you or near you, or pull smoke for AR, of course. Any comments for you?
I'm trying to wrap my head around this one. I don't usually use the session skills.
So basically,
the number of allies have already acted, so he wants to go last. So
after 2 people,
gonna help with that. After 2 people,
you get max buffs after 2 people move.
So. Okay, 2 plus the number of allies have already acted times. Okay, all right, I got you. Okay, so that's definitely feasible. I'm thinking this is around arena, but then you said this is general outside of AR.
I'm sure he has an arena build. We can go through just real quick.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, this would probably work for a lot of things. You're gonna see the cache of skills. Okay. If it'll load up.
Yeah.
There it goes.
Slaying bow. You got this. Oh, he even has a spendthrift. Oh my gosh. Oh man.
I want that bow for my fate.
Yeah. You got the Candle Wax Fury bow. All right. Yeah. He has the dual rally for arena. And he has the Ruptured Sky. Yeah. For Death 3, Life and Death. Oh no, that's not 4. Death Bow 4.
Got the
Mirror
the double
impact.
fortress skill.
Yeah,
Bless. Alright, so this is without doubt this guy's favorite unit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's set. But yeah, aside from what we mentioned earlier, again, I would personally say Swift Sparrow over the Brazen attack speed, because this doesn't really necessarily synergize with the rest of his kit. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah, he's already getting you better get the initiation weapon. So yeah, I would agree with that.
And so he's gonna get the fishy bow eventually. However, if you get the fishy bow on him, Brazen attack speed synergizes with that. So.
Well, if he gets fishy bow, I mean, we could be looking at Fury 4.
Yeah, Fury 4.
Which he might already have. Did he have that in there?
I don't think he did.
I see Raptured Sky, so Violet died, but I don't know which one. Could have been Distant Counter. Violet.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna load. But yeah, Fury 4 or even attack speed push 4. That also hurts yourself.
That's true. That's true.
So yeah, if you once you get the fishy bow, something to consider. Heavy blade session. No Fury.
Okay.
But yeah, once you get the fishy bow, highly recommended. Low speed defense, I think it's either going to be this or no follow up. Either or. I think that's basically what you want. Maybe special spiral. Maybe since you have ruptured sky. But yeah, anything else?
No, I like it.
Yeah, super dope. Man, that the sun. I really want to spend thrift bow for some of my units. Man, I'm so envious. But anyway.
Like I said, my armored Fade, man.
Yeah, dude.
I want to slap that on there.
Best
for my
character
AR
for
defense on Dark Season. Let people suffer.
Oh yeah. All right. Now Alpha's Finn. So first of all, shout outs to the Finn because he's also one of my favorite units from Yggdrasil. I have one built up. He's not plus 10 yet, but I got him from the former Holo Forms. But anyway, here we go. Let's see. You haven't. Oh, this is actually a little different from when I took notes. So okay.
Doing it live.
So let's see. You have all-rounder. It's an all-rounder build. You had a different weapon though. Summoner supported. Looking for optimal. He's supported with a triple tactics Titania, and often also has speed opening, so he can get +6 in all stats. Yeah. So when I checked last time, he had a more enemy phase build. Let me check remember what weapon he had. Berkut's Lance. Yeah, it was Berkut's Lance. So yeah, similar to the Quan we mentioned earlier. His speed isn't the greatest, nor is his res. So I'm pretty sure you had Distant Counter on.
I mean, it looks worse than it is because of that Brave Lance.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's 39 speed.
It's actually 39. But
when I checked, you had Distant Counter on him. But right now you have a player phase build. So I think player phase is where he excels personally. I really hope he gets his PRF Brave Lance soon because he deserves it. But when I took notes, you had the enemy phase build. I'm sad you killed a Bernadetta, but you did. Let's see. So if you wanted to keep the idea of an enemy phase Finn, when I first checked, I would say consider running Tannin Boom, the Christmas Robin one, where it gives you +2 all stats on enemy phase, because his stat line was decently balanced. Of course, Berkut's Lance is okay to make his res decent, I guess. Like better than 23. 30 is. Oh, actually, you have +6 all stats, so that's what 30 with Berkut's Lance, 32 with Summoner support, and 38ish res with buffs. So that's not bad. And it would be 40th with Tannin Boom. Sorry, I already put in 7 with the Berkut's Lance, so forget that. It would still be around like 35ish with Tannin Boom. So that's something to consider. I'm usually not a fan of trying to like really invest in like their dump stat. The stat's already meant to be their dump stat.
Yeah. I mean, building in Perez is probably not the best use of your stat resources, but
yeah. So if you wanted to keep that build you had on him earlier, that's the way I would go. But I think in general you should go player phase like you are now. I personally run Slaying Lance with Swift Sparrow, Gale Force, and low speed defense. You definitely just want to keep this, period, for sure. And I had Joint Hone Speed, but that's super premium. Well, you did say optimal though, so Joint Hone Speed. And Swift Sparrow for Seal. But yeah, if you're running Aether right now, which is okay, but Gale Force is probably better for player phasing. And you can run like the Heavy Blade Seal or something to speed that up.
Well, see, my thinking on that though is he's only got 50 attack. I don't know
right.
how often he's gonna proc the Heavy Blade.
Yeah, if you were gonna run like the Slaying Lance like I did, it might be a bit better, but with Brave Lance, Heavy Blade is not recommended.
I mean, it's general purpose. I mean, there's a lot of that makes it kind of hard to make a build because we're not like hyper focusing on something. But I mean, I'm seeing the Brave Lance here, and I'm bouncing that around in my head. I mean, you could run like depending what you have, you could double an A skill with speed and a seal with speed. So whether it be Swift Sparrow or darting 4. If you're trying to hyper invest with speed with the Brave Lance, you could run. Well, no, because I was about to say Flashing Blade, but we've already used up the slots. So
and horses can't use Flashing.
Gosh.
yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm happy for that. Like, well, I'm trying to think if there's like a horse unit that's really like crazy fast. But either way, it's been done by IS. They can't do it. So, all right, good point.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say you could try to go for the quads, but
even then, you're giving up your lull for the desperation if you're doing that.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, if we're thinking like hyper max investment in speed, what's darting 4 do? 9?
Darting 4 is 9.
And then darting 4 is 9, and then you run the third darting blow 3 for the seal. It's 15 plus with the 49 speed.
49.
I don't know if that would really.
51.
I mean, it's doable, but it wouldn't hit everything. Is that summoner supported?
Yeah, it's summoner supported, and he would also have 6 speed from buffs. So I think he'll be like.
That's true. Actually,
he'll be mid 50s, high 50s. So.
This is doable. I mean, it makes him like solo player phase if you do it that way. But I mean, if you're running a brave weapon, you're already thinking player phase.
Yeah, and you would probably run like. If you're quadding, you would run like a, Luna or something like that. But yeah, with even with all that speed investment we're talking about, like blues want to fight reds, right? And like a lot of the reds don't even care about your 55 speed. They're just like, yeah, whatever. And they're gonna get repelled. Repelled destroys Brave Lance Brave builds because, well, I guess he'll be fast enough, but.
I was about to say another idea that popped in my head. I don't know if you said it already. I might have missed it. But if you wanted to focus on speed, you could drop the Brave Lance and run Harmonic Lance to get like the Wrath effect.
Yeah, that's not.
So you could do that with like a 2-turn, and you get big damage, and you would increase your speed by 5 plus the 3 speed you're gonna add for the refinement, so you could get a lot more speed out of that. So with the Harmonic Lance, that could work out.
Yeah, and there's even also the. I forgot the name of it because I play in Japanese, but the Swift Sparrow Lance.
Lofty Blossoms.
That exists too.
That would also be a good choice.
So yeah, I overall we would recommend the player phase build. You could go for the quads, or you could just go for standard offense, attack and speed investment. But yeah, that's basically it. Do I have anything else? Yeah, that's it.
I'm good.
All right. And so the last guy I have, so this Niter guy was also submitted something on my last video, but he didn't put any notes this time, so we'll just quickly go over him, I guess.
Okay.
It's a decked out young Marth, but
Marth.
This is obviously for arena. Yeah, so I have two general ways to go about young Marth in my opinion. The special spiral build, which you have here, or the repel build. If you're running the Vantage special spiral type of build, plus attack is fine. Otherwise, I would generally recommend plus speed. But other than that, yeah, you could probably I mean, you already invested in attack, threat, and attack speed 3, but I feel like joint drive attack or speed would have been better, but it's fine as it is. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. This guy's this
does
and built advantage.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's a built advantage. Gosh, I ran into that with his girlfriend too the other day. I had a loss to that. She beat out my Fae. And it was ugly. But yeah, built advantage mad weapons is so good. Yeah, I mean that's great for arena given armored effectiveness. Hero's Blood, what does that do? Boost damage with 30% of speed.
Yep.
He's already got 45 speed. Grants. Okay, that's the standard Marth.
Yeah, it's a fire emblem.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, no, looks solid for sure.
Yeah, so I might actually.
You got the brazen in there to combo with the Vantage. So, yeah, no, I like that.
It works out. I might actually add you, so look out for that. Anyway, and lastly, oh, sorry, it was somebody on my friends list. All right, yeah, my frame rate is super low right now because I'm doing a bunch of things at once, so excuse that. And lastly, we have EmptyChannel, who is a regular to my YouTube. He's also a returner. I saw him actually comment on some of your old videos, so I was like, hey, it's that guy.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
Let me find him real quick. Jeez, low frame rates. He has a decked out. What's her name? Oh, you switched back to Edelgard. So sorry, I guess I was a little late, but he did. I already commented on the Edelgard, but he had a the new sword girl, Sairi, from Awakening.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember the build. He had steady posture. He had base kit, steady posture in the A slot, which is speed and defense stance.
That's speed and defense with the guard?
Yeah, with the guard.
Okay.
He had the close call. Dang, sorry, dude. I didn't write all the notes I should have. But you said it was a general build for all modes, optimal build.
We can comment on it, and if he already has it, then he already has it. But I mean, so you told me he's got enemy phase A skill, so we're gonna assume it's enemy phase, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
So the B skill that's the one that reduces AOE damage. Is that right? You said it was repel. What was it?
Close call. So it just reduces damage based on her speed, the speed difference. So and she has like after steady posture like 50 something speed. So
wow. Okay. So that's pretty solid. What's Sairi's weapon? Does she have a PR?
Yeah. It's Amatsu distant counter when she has 50% or more health and
right.
Slaying weapon.
Okay, so -1 CD. Remember what the special was?
I think it was Aether. Yeah, pretty sure it was Aether.
Okay.
So
that sounds like arena-esque.
Yeah, so about Aether, I think if you're gonna keep it in arena, Aether's fine. But for general content, I would actually recommend Noontime. So you get the instant Noontime retaliation for the constant heals, so you can stay in Amatsu range for the distant counter. If you have support from like a Brave Lucina, you could run Soul. And if you really wanted to, you could swap out the steady posture for a stance skill, like darting stance or something, or fierce stance. Oops, sorry. So you can get souls off as well instantly. I think that's all I had to say, honestly.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to keep it all pictured in my mind.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it sounds like a solid start. So.
Yeah, and as for CO and C slot, I mean, joint drive speed is my recommendation. Attack works too, but joint drive speed since you're running close call. And your special could be, I think you had a steady stance, which is speed res, which works pretty well with her since she has DC and stuff. So
you could do flashing blade there. That would work. Make the Aether more consistent.
Yeah, that's true. If you kept the steady posture, yeah. She's pretty solid as out of the box. So I guess you swapped out Kestrel stance for steady posture, which is pretty good since her defense is a bit more suspect. So it evens out her defenses. So yeah, that's about it. And with that, I believe we're done. So yeah.
Okay.
All right, that was about an hour long, a little over an hour. So thanks again, guys, for all your submissions. It was really cool to see some of your decked out stuff. Yeah, I hope,
Awesome builds today.
Yeah, I hope some of the advice that you gave was useful. And I don't know when I'll do my next one, maybe in next month or in a few weeks. But I do have a new project I have been working on. I don't know how well it'll go, but we'll see. I'm pretty excited about it. Maybe you'll see Sigtrick here again too. But yeah, speaking of that,
I'd be glad to do it. Thank you for having me.
But yeah, thanks for all your advice too. This actually helps me a lot because when I'm recording alone, I get like caught up in my own thoughts and everything. But having a
it's fun. No, it's good to bounce around ideas and talk it out.
Yeah.
As opposed to having to do it on the fly by yourself. So no, I understand that 100%.
So yeah, really thanks to that. Much thanks to that. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, whatever, all the YouTube stuff. Please subscribe if you want to get more into for more unit reviews in the future. And I think I'll be uploading some finishing up the reverse recruitment Fire Emblem 7 and maybe some more Cypher videos in the meantime while I work on the other project. So yeah, with that, see you next time. And any last farewells from Sigtrick?
No, again, thanks for having me. I do a bunch of different gotchas. I haven't done too many face summoning vids in a while because I haven't been in saving mode. If Legendary Corn comes back, then I'll have another video for that kind of thing. Otherwise, if there's some harder content, like if I deem a legendary or mythic hero battle to be worth uploading, I'll do that. Those are far and few between. The last one I did was Bramimond. But yeah, I mean, if you're interested in other gacha games, you can always check me out. My channel is just my name, so Sigtrick.
I'll have a link down there too.
Oh, awesome! Thank you, man.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, with that, we'll see you next time, guys. Peace out. Have a good one.
Take care.